Alright, welcome to round one. We are on the play, and this hand seems great.
Great, yep. Just
Yep,
remove everything and play a behemoth.
yep, that's the plan. Don't really need this. Go away, chat. So, we can be fairly selective with our removal spells here, just because, like, Skurzdag Supplicant and this Ingenious Scob now in our hand do a pretty solid job of, holding off, like, early game 2-power guys and that sort of thing. And we're going to be building up towards ambushing pretty much anything with this Drowned Behemoth.
Yeah, I hope there's some world in which we just Boon of Emrakul, Drownyard Behemoth, and go to town.
Yeah. I don't think that that's the world that we're currently living in, though.
Right. Can you look at the art on Boon of Emrakul?
Yes, I can do that. I think it's really weird and gross looking, probably.
Right, okay, you can stop looking at it now.
So the reason I had a stop set on my opponent's end step, I'm going to play this Ingenious Scob because it represents a lot more damage. The reason I had a stop set on my opponent's second main phase is because I was playing a super sweet Prized Amalgam Haunted Dead Emerge deck, which I have not made any videos of yet because even without talking about it, I'm still almost going to time playing full matches with. So trying to get reasonable at it, but it's a super sweet deck.
Interesting. I am wondering if you should have played the Supplicant first, actually, because of the Madness cards we have that cost 3.
Well, but this way I can attack for 3 this turn. Well, and what do I want to do here? I mean, I can just boon that thing so it's gone. Or I can play the Supplicant and deadweight that thing, and then it's really a non-threat. Even if it flips, it's a 1-3.
Oh, right. I forgot that we have no spells that we can cast during our opponent's turn.
Right, it doesn't. Its ability does nothing to us. We took the Convolute out of our deck. I think I'd rather get guys on the board.
You
Just
should. Oh, you should use the swamp instead of the island, or do that second main phase.
wait. What do you mean?
Oh, I was thinking that you could offer the trade, I guess.
Nah, I'm not willing to do that. Like if he blocks, that just puts us in a really awful situation of like either we don't get damage through or we trade guys and like his guy is just not ready to fight our guys this game. I guess we do have spells we can play on their turn. We have
Right,
all of
I
our
just
emerge
realized that.
guys. But he's gonna chump block before that happens. Okay, he's just gonna emerge. That definitely makes that play a lot worse. Um, well, not much we can do except play this Wildfield Scarecrow and pass. But Scarecrow is good.
Yeah, any land we draw is great here.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely one thing you have to think about when you're using that sort of like alternative mode of deadweight where it doesn't kill a creature. Is there are, yeah, that's probably that should have been something we thought about more. Is the fact that he could just emerge off of it.
Hmm.
I'm gonna keep passing. I have a feeling that we're gonna get to ambush something with Drowned Behemoth on his turn. And if not, then we may just sacrifice the Wildfield Scarecrow for lands. I'm not totally sure what we'll do, but I'm not going to attack into his 4/4. I'm not going to cast Boon of Emrakul on any of these guys. I would rather try to get him with Drowned Behemoth.
Wouldn't you rather just drown your behemoth, your scarecrow, anyways?
Probably. I guess we don't have a ton of use for more lands here.
Right. The only other little card we can't cast is Elder Deep Fiend.
Yeah. And, I mean, we're never getting to 9, so.
Right.
He is not willing to walk into emerge flash creatures. That's reasonable. So we could attack here with Ingenious Scob and allow the trade with one of his 4/4s, but then that takes us off of Drowned Behemoth mana for the turn. So I'm not super interested in doing that. I think we're best served by just staying. I guess I could have cast that Drowned Behemoth at the end of his turn. I got a little caught up in wanting to ambush something with it.
Right. I think that's curious because especially because you have two of them.
Yeah. Oh man, he ended up with that Scour. That's pretty rough here. And a take inventory, huh?
Hmm.
I wonder how many of those he's playing.
Hopefully just the one.
Alright, so do we cast this here, do you think?
I believe so. I think it's time you need to start doing something.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it much harder to ambush anything with a Giant Behemoth if we already have one in play. But I guess we can cast this, getting rid of the Wildfield Scarecrow. And then if we kill the Laboratory Brute with this boon, then that makes his blocks really not great.
Right.
So that seems fine.
I think you want to hold your lands now, right?
To discard to the Supplicant?
Possibly.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason... Yeah, I mean, I guess even if we play this land, we can't... we can't play the Giant Behemoth off of anything except for our previous Giant Behemoth.
Yeah, I don't think you want to do that.
We can... So we could attack with the Ingenious Scob here, too. Which I think is fine. If he blocks in such a way to trade guys off for it, then that works out well for us. If he doesn't, he can attack back, and then we'll have the choice of untapping our Giant Behemoth and blocking something. I'm going to attack. Whoops.
Yes, I like it.
And if we just do extra damage to him, then hopefully we can get into a position where Scare's Dive Supplicant makes the difference there. Because if he lets this Scob through, it deals 5 to him, which is pretty significant. He could have tricks. He's got Cryptolith Fragment and Island untapped. So he could cast literally anything that costs 2 or less. Let's see.
I'm imagining chump blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems fine.
We had to clear those guys off eventually, so. And he can attack us back for a fair amount at this point. But if he gets aggressive, like, he'll need to keep attacking in order to capitalize off of that. And that's... Ooh, Somberwald Stag. That's very good. Because we tapped out of blue mana to do an extra damage. Which, I mean, wasn't wrong, but it definitely hurts.
No, that's not normally a card you would play around either.
Yeah, I mean, it's an uncommon, and I mean, now that we've seen it, we can certainly play around it. Oh, and he is killing the Supplicant. This does give him better attacks this turn. The question is just if we're... I think we're willing to make each player lose 2 life here.
Yes.
Because that gives us, like, potentially lethal if we draw a spell, and he's got to think about that. You know, like, if we were to draw... he's got to think, if we draw another Boon of Emrakul for the Somberwald Stag, then he's just dead on our turn.
Right.
Also, he can no longer transform his Kessig Prowler this turn. Alright, we'll take 6. Ooh, and there's a dead weight. I probably want to kill this Kessig Prowler before he's able to transform it, and that also makes our Ingenious Scob attack slightly better. I mean, it still just trades with the Somberwald Stag. Which isn't...
Yep. This is fine.
Yeah, this is fine. I mean, the problem is that it gives us nothing to emerge off of except for our Drownyard Behemoth, which is definitely a problem.
What if you don't attack with the Ingenious Scob?
I guess if we don't attack with it, we're probably trading it for something that he attacks with then. Either trading it or I guess...
Or eating it, or emerging
yeah,
it.
Eating... Yeah, and I think that's better. We would much rather have a Drownyard Behemoth in play than an Ingenious Scob. So, like, this Ingenious Scob will trade for or eat something at some point. Like, he can't let it through because it's lethal, so he's just going to block with the Stag, and we'd rather do that on his turn, really, if we can.
Yes. Well, ideally, I think he tries to play some removal spell or some way to fight it again.
Yeah, that would be sweet. This guy is doing a bunch of thinking at our beginning of combat steps. He did it last turn, too.
He must have the breath.
That's true. He could have that. Well, and if he's got that and tries to use the tempo us out while we still got Drownyard Behemoth up sometime, that would be very good. We might be kind of broadcasting that we have Drownyard Behemoth here.
I don't think so. I think it's very reasonable that we look like we don't want to trade.
Yeah.
Because he can't, in theory, if nothing changes, if his hand is all lands, he cannot Alpha Strike.
Right, because all we need is a non-creature spell in order to have lethal. Overhauled Observer. Alright, that blocks our Behemoths, which is very annoying. And unfortunately, we don't have any Drag Unders or other bounce spells that, you know...
We actually have no way to kill it.
Yes. I'm going to go ahead and get this Behemoth out here.
Now, do you block the Stag or the It of the Horde Swarm?
I think I just blocked the 4/4.
Well, he doesn't draw a card off the Stag.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Toughness 4 or greater. I was thinking it was 6 or greater for some reason. Yeah, let's block the Stag.
Yeah, I think that's kind of strange, but something we should pay attention to.
No, it definitely is something we should pay attention to. That I would have missed that 100%, so that's clearly the right thing to do. Yeah, and now we're in a pretty awkward spot. I mean, we just need to draw Elder Deep Fiend to win, basically. That's the plan. Just giant Urge guy again.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, this is a real problem because he's got Cryptolith Fragment ready to kill us, and we don't have any answer to that whatsoever. And that's not a good draw. We really can't attack because we'll just die. But boy, we don't have very much time. This thing's going to kill us in 2 attacks. Yep. I think the main thing I did wrong was I should not have dead-weighted that Hermit. There were too many It of the Horde Swarms in this draft for him not to be very likely to have one. And that was just a perfect curve for him and got us pretty badly. Casting the Boon there to actually kill his guy would have been much better. Woodcutter's Grit for... Does he have another pump spell for lethal? Wow.
Oh wow,
Okay. Well, he did it.
the hyper combo finish.
Yeah, definitely. Good job, buddy. I mean, I think that game was very winnable if I had just played it properly at the beginning. So definitely something to think about. Uh, like I think about it a lot when I'm casting spontaneous mutations, but I definitely did not give it as much thought as I should have dead weighting his guy. So that was a pretty huge mistake that ended up costing us there. Um, so what can we do here?
I'm normally a huge fan of sideboarding, but I don't see a lot to
I
change.
don't either. Hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure what we can do to make us better against him. He's just dudes mostly, and some powerful cards that we can't do much about. Like we can't do anything about his draw three or anything like that, which sort of buried us that game. Um, all right, let's do it.
I still wonder what would have happened if we had cast the Drownyard Behemoth, the first one, a little bit a turn sooner. I don't know
Yeah,
if it would have made a huge difference, but it's something to think about.
it definitely might have done it. Well, we've got the Deep Fiend this time, which is pretty nice,
And then all the dead weights.
and all of the dead weights.
Well, I guess not literally all of them, but to him
Two-thirds
it
of
will.
them.
Yeah, it will be too many for him.
I hope so. I mean, he didn't have a ton of guys that they straight up kill, which is actually I guess that makes the card quite a bit worse right now. There's so many 2/3s, and then not only that, like shrinking them down to an 0/1 is pretty bad at the moment, just because of Emerge. So I mean, I don't think it was right to take anything over these deadweights when we did, but it 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 may just be a much weaker card now.
I do. It's certainly a weaker card, but
Hmm.
there were other. The upside is still there, right? Like if he was the red-white aggressive deck, it just kills all of his creatures.
Right, right.
And I mean, if you try to think of the reverse logic, oh, we shouldn't take this card because what if we play against the green Delirium deck? I mean, it's just not reasonable.
Yeah, yeah, but it probably adjusts the pick order, and probably in a pretty substantial way.
I don't think we missed out on anything. We were certainly prioritizing removal very highly, which is why we took them. And I don't think we needed more creatures in our weird enchantment only creature only deck.
No, probably not. But I'm just thinking like maybe Murderous Compulsion is now the better Shadows of Innistrad black removal spell.
Right, and we would have killed for a murderous
Yeah,
compulsion.
we would have been very interested in Murderous Compulsion, especially after the first and second dead weights. This guy is very interested in sitting on our beginning of combat step when we have no creatures in play.
He must forget he has a stop. Look at the same take inventory.
Well, not an exciting series of draws. No plays until turn 4 is a little bit frustrating, but we knew what we were signing up for with this hand, I guess. Yep, and there's good old Hermit of the Natternolls, which I'm certainly not going to cast a Deadweight on this time because we just have a guy that is bigger than it.
We've learned our lesson.
Yes, I have learned my lesson.
Yeah, I hope he does it again, anyways, just to,
That
I
seems
guess, make us feel better. I don't know.
that seems pretty unlikely to happen right now. Shrill Howler is great for putting Deadweights on, though. We've drawn only lands this game. Is that right? Every one of our draw steps has been a land?
Yes. Yes, remember we had all the dead weights, this weird vampire, and this Elder Deep Fiend.
Yep. Well. And the Hermit does make it kind of obnoxious because now if he uses a removal spell on our weirded vampire...
Oh, well, this is sort of okay.
Yeah, do we trade the Deadweight for it, or do we just go ahead and Elder Deep Fiend, do you think?
I think you want to trade the dead weight for it.
Yeah. The problem is that leaves us with Elder Deep Fiend in hand and nothing going on at all. And I'd kind of rather just have the 5/6 in play.
But we don't even trade anything for it. We just...
Yeah.
But my concern is that if he just passes the turn and flips.
You're right. Well, if he passes the turn and flips, then he has a 3/5 to our 5/6. Like that's really not what I'm worried about. What I'm worried about is him just being up a lot of cards, and we're left with like one spell that doesn't do anything. Although I guess we're not far off from hard casting this Elder Deep Fiend because we've drawn lands every turn. All right,
Right.
I'll trade the Deadweight here. That's okay.
I also am unsure of how good Deadweight is against him.
Yeah, I mean that's true. It's not great against him, and I'm not willing to put it on a guy that it doesn't kill.
Yeah, specifically that one.
Right. But boy, he's just up a lot of cards against us. Oh boy. Well, very frustrating series of draw steps. We have not drawn any spells this game.
I like our opponent's name, though.
Yes, Gambling Smoker. Well, that seems like a fine one.
Now, do you play your land or not?
I think I do.
Yeah.
Because this way, if he has a way to remove the Crypt Breaker, then we can use it for something.
Yes.
And, like, we don't really care what we draw here. We're discarding almost any cards that we draw to Crypt Breaker at this point in the game. So, you know, having one extra card to discard to it is not that huge of a deal.
I do like that if you draw more lands here, it's still okay.
Yes. That is one of the things that Crypt Breaker does, and does very well.
Oh, gosh.
Yep, and so here, I'm just very glad to have the Deep Fiend mana up. Unfortunately, that's still very bad for us.
Right. We need Cemetery Recruitment.
We do need Cemetery Recruitment. That's definitely our best draw at this point.
I guess I would take Drown Yard Behemoths.
Yeah.
Since we can cast them.
Well, they cost 9. But
right.
Now we
can
cast them.
Good.
Oh boy. Oh, this draw has been extremely frustrating. I don't think we can attack him here. I mean, I think we've just got to sit and hope that our draws get better, because our racing 5 against 4, like, he's just going to play one other spell and we're never going to beat him in a race.
Right. We were playing our land still, right? We're on that train?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to play a land so that if we draw Behemoth, we can just cast it.
This was not how we drew it up.
No. I mean, we kept a 3-land hand, and we now have 9 lands after 7 cards drawn. So, meh. This game gets a solid meh from me.
It's a solid angry face from me.
Oh, well. Get control of your emotions, Wit.
You're right. What am I doing? I'm out of control.
Magic the Gathering has no time to be angry-faced. He has plenty of lands too, but he also still has lots of cards in hand. Yup. Just hardcasting Hit of the Horde Swarm. And he's just gonna pretty much run us over eventually. This is not a great card to have at this point in the game. With us both at 20 and it's just outsized by all of his cards. But, much better than a land.
Since there's nothing else really to talk about, it just occurred to me that Docent of Perfection would have been the worst card in our deck.
I mean, it still would be a 5-mana 5/4 flyer.
But also comically bad.
This is really awful.
So he has the trick, right? The +3/+3
Woodcutter's Grit, yeah. But what could we possibly do? I guess double block.
Does that kill both our guys? Oh, no, it doesn't.
Right. And so
I think
that,
that's fine.
because he wouldn't be attacking if he didn't have it. So,
Yeah, it's an unnecessary bluff to run.
right. There's just no reason for him to do that, I don't think. And also, throwing away the Skurzdag Supplicant is not the worst thing in the world. He could have multiple pump spells here, but he already used a Confront.
Right, and we can't beat that.
I mean, yeah, that just kind of beats us no matter what. Yep, he's got multiple pump spells. Double Confront the Unknown out of one pack of Shadows, huh? That's very strong. I mean, it just lets him survive. It didn't let him also kill the Supplicant, so we forced him to use the Confront there, where blocking with just the Deep Fiend would force him to only use one pump spell. Alright, well here's Cemetery Recruitment. I don't think getting back the Crypt Breaker and drawing a card is fast enough. I think we'll just get run over unless we get lucky enough to draw a Drownyard Behemoth. But the question is if Elder Deep Fiend is actually enough to let us win this game.
Is that, what is the other line? Is the other line Cemetery Recruitment Crypt Breaker into another Cemetery Recruitment?
The other line is Cemetery Recruitment into Crypt Breaker, like, hoping pretty badly to draw a Drownyard Behemoth. Like, it's not likely, but I don't know that Cemetery Recruitment getting the Elder Deep Fiend is actually gonna, like, win us the game.
Right, it does nothing this turn. Does it do anything better for us? Because that fogs for another turn, so it buys us a turn.
Well, I mean, I think we would have to run the get it in our hand, like, but see, the problem is we don't get to ambush anything. If he attacks, it's because he has a pump spell. Which, I mean, how many pump spells could he possibly have? I think just getting it back keeps him from attacking, probably. I'm going to get back the Elder Deep Fiend.
Is there anything to be said for trying... Well, I guess we don't stabilize if we get that Crypt Breaker.
Right, unless we get very lucky with the card draw off of Cemetery Recruitment.
Right, but are we going to have to do that anyways either way? Does Elder Deep Fiend stabilize us that much?
Right, and I mean, that's my concern. That's the thing I've been asking.
I think you get back the Deep Fiend. I think it's worth the fog.
Yeah.
And then I think it does stabilize you more than Crypt Breaker.
And do we use it as a fog, or do we just hold it up? I don't really want to just throw away the Skurzdag Supplicant before he attacks.
Oh, no, I think you take 10 this turn, and then you fog the next turn.
Oh, I don't think we take 10. I think we try to ambush a guy, and if he's got a pump spell, he's got a pump spell.
Right, but he knows about the Deep Fiend.
It's true. Well, we'll see what he does. Yeah, so he's out. That's a very good draw. I don't see us winning this game. I don't think we have any way to win this game at this point. I mean, I guess the way we win this game is somehow stabilize and get back a Crypt Breaker with our other Cemetery Recruitment. So
I don't even know if that's... I mean, yeah, I don't even know if that is possible.
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and fog him this turn. He can spend a bunch of mana and transform his Kessig Prowler and attack us with it if he... Well, Rancid Rats is okay. That Wretched Griff is really going to mess us up, though.
Yes.
We're very weak to that card.
Our no removal strategy has failed us.
Yep, it certainly has. Boy, he's attacking with this, huh? Boy. I mean, Pump Spell's just gonna kill us no matter what.
Right.
I think we're double blocking again.
Oh well. What happens if you double block and then he transforms it?
Oh, well, we double block and then we're double blocking a 4/4. And then,
Okay.
so he if he has another Woodcutter's Grit, then it kills just our Elder Deep Fiend.
Exactly like it did the first time.
Yeah, literally exactly like it did the first time. I'm gonna double block again. Yep, there's the transform, and there's aim high. Boy, this guy's deck is just absolutely filled with pump spells.
Right. It appears that he only has 5 creatures and he just draws them all the time. Oh.
That's amazing right now. We actually have a use for all of these lands. So we're going to be able to get 6 zombies into play. Alright, well that's a great draw. I don't know if it'll be enough, but...
Do we gain more life if we madness?
Yeah. Our madness cost is only 1, so we get to gain 6 life and make 6 zombies if we madness it. If we cast it, we only get 3 life and 3 zombies. This is how this card works. It's an X.
Great. Yeah, I didn't know if it was X life.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, no, it's zombies and life are scale. We do have to lose 2 life from our Skursdag Supplicant, though. Oh, they come into play tapped. I just didn't realize that. Well,
zombies are always slow.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever actually madnessed that card. I think I've only cast it, so it didn't really matter quite as much. Well, that's alright. I guess it would be pretty bonkers if you could just ambush them with it.
Yeah, that's one of the inconsistencies. Old Innistrad, all zombies were slow, and new Innistrad, they're not all slow like that Laboratory Brute.
Right. Boy, and then that Lab Brute means that we can't really attack back very well.
But we can block really well.
That Wretched Griff is still just gonna kill us. We really have no answer in our deck to that card, unfortunately. So I don't see us winning this game. So maybe blue-black is just completely undraftable no matter what kind of shenanigans you're trying to do with it.
Yeah, they did seem to mention that it's a pretty mid-tier deck at the Pro Tour.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I was just hoping we were doing powerful enough stuff that it was alright. But, I mean, our deck certainly had some significant weaknesses.
This is also a lower than average version of the blue-black deck, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we have some powerful stuff, but we were just never able to capitalize. Well, we got a chump block for the Wretched Griff. Boy, we are in really bad shape here. We're really just delaying the inevitable at this point. The old quad pump spell emerge deck has run us over.
With nagging thoughts and taking it. Oh, there's a second one.
Yep,
he did it.
He did it. What we really need here is Profane Command.
Does that even do it?
Yeah, it totally does it. Give all of our
Oh,
guys
because kills the
fear.
rest of yeah.
Give all of our guys fear and drain them for boy. And there's really no end in sight to these lands. I guess we can chump block his guy for a turn. We also can't block his Shrill Howler, so I'm just gonna concede this. He's got lethal. Goodbye. Well, that was pretty terrible. We will see you guys next time.